Hey everyone, Leica here. I'm a game producer with the Go game, and I'm here to give you the lowdown on what we'll be doing together for Outside Lands next weekend. If you're not familiar with the Go game, we've been in San Francisco for more than 15 years, and we specialize in smartphone-enabled scavenger hunts. They're kind of like a combination of classic scavenger hunts, The Amazing Race, and America's Funniest Home Videos. This year, we're teaming up with Outside Lands to create a game that's geared towards getting participants to check out all that the festival has to offer and meet new people while having a ton of fun along the way. The theme of the game is inspired by Ranger Dave, who's the Outside Lands mascot. No one seems to actually be sure how Ranger Dave came to be, but we do know that several years ago there was a man with an epic mustache named Ranger Dave who made awesome tweets and promotional videos at the festival while drinking a lot of beer and giving out free hugs. In the last few years, Ranger Dave has been transformed from a man with a mustache to an actual mascot costume, and there's a giant statue of him at the festival that you can take a picture with. But no one seems to know his backstory or motivation, so we get to make it up as part of the game. The baseline backstory for Ranger Dave is that he was found swaddled as a baby at the foot of one of the Dutch windmills in Golden Gate Park, and he was raised by squirrels and Haight-Ashbury kids to be the greatest steward of Golden Gate Park and good vibes that the city of San Francisco has ever seen. He picked up a bunch of incredible skills along the way, skills that you too can acquire by braving the dire straits of Ranger Dave's Junior Ranger training program. Players will earn virtual badges as they navigate the game and compete to become top of their training class. The first place winners of the game this year will receive up to 4 free tickets for Outside Lands in 2019. Second place are going to receive free VIP upgrades on their tickets, and third place will be winning some Outside Lands swag and probably a bunch of fake mustaches. First, we'll talk through some basic information about the game itself, then the role, and then hopefully I'll have remembered all the stuff I'm forgetting now. Alright, so the game. We're going to have, the game, it's a different game that takes place each day of the festival, so we'll have winning teams for each day. And each day we'll have up to 500 teams playing the game, and each team will probably have anywhere from 1 to 10 people on it. We're estimating that it'll probably be closer to 200 teams a day than 500, but we really won't know how many players we have until the game begins and they start moving through their missions. The game will kick off around 12:45 p.m. each day and will close around 7. At the end of the game each day, right around 7:30, we'll have an award ceremony at our HQ booth, which is located in Ecolands, and there we'll announce the top 3 teams and give out prizes. Throughout the day at that booth too, we'll also be doing a bunch of fun activities, telling people about the Go game, and just having a good time hanging out. Outside Lands uses a proprietary app for the festival that has information about music, scheduling, art installations, vendors, etc. This year, the app also has the Go Games app integrated into it. Players can get to our app by clicking the button that says Scavenger Hunt within the Outside Lands app, and then they can log in. Teams will be able to sign up for the game in advance via a page on the Outside Lands website that's going live really soon. I'll send out a link to the page when it goes live. On that page, teams can provide their name, email, and the day that they want to play, and later they'll be able to enter the email they registered with into the scavenger hunt section of the Outside Lands app, and that will open the game for them. If a team wants to sign up for the game during the festival, we'll give you a different login code each day that will allow them to do that. But remember, if a team ever has questions about the game that you're not able to answer, you can just direct them over to our HQ booth, which will be, again, located in the Ecolands area of the festival. There are 5 main types of missions that teams will see in the game. There are classic scavenger hunt style missions that get the team to go to a certain location and solve a riddle about that location using context clues around them. This will get the teams to visit the different installations and the different vendors. Additionally, when 2 teams run into each other, or 2 people realize that they're both playing the game, they can do what we call a head-to-head battle. All of the head-to-head battles are kind of like improv games that are geared at getting the players to get to know each other in a really low risk and entertaining way. Then we've got our ranger missions, which is what we're going to be doing, and we'll get into that in a few minutes. We also have creative missions where the team is given an open-ended prompt and they're asked to respond with a photo or a video. These are a lot of fun and are also where a lot of like the shareable content from the game will come from that you'll probably be seeing on social media throughout the weekend. And then lastly, we've got a bunch of different trivia missions that are in there, things about San Francisco culture and artists that are playing in the festival. At the beginning of your shift, we'll be talking through a little bit, we'll just be refreshing over some of that stuff so you can keep it in your head and guide teams throughout the day. All right, now let's get on to your role. As you already know, there are 2 shifts per day. The first shift runs from 12 to 4 p.m. and the second shift runs from 3:30 to 7:30 p.m. Please make sure that you arrive at the festival gates at least half an hour before your shift starts. We're going to have someone from our crew waiting outside the main entrance between the hours of 11 a.m., which is when the gates open, and 4 p.m., which is half an hour after our second shift starts. If you are part of the second shift and you show up after 4 p.m., there's no guarantee that you're going to be able to enter into the festival. Yeah, we just have limited resources and we can't have someone sitting out there all day waiting for folks. So please, please, please make sure that you show up on time and early. We actually really want to make sure that you're there a little early because we want to make sure that you have enough time to get through security and to walk through the festival to the ranger station. A day or two before the festival happens, I'm going to send out another email that has detailed arrival information, so keep an eye out for that. Once you're into the festival and you get to the ranger station, we'll all be gearing up together and getting ready to head out on patrol. For costuming, we will be providing short sleeve khaki ranger shirts, bandanas, and bags that you'll be able to carry, clear plastic bags that you'll be able to carry the gear for your mission around in. We might have ranger hats available to us also, but we'll definitely have false mustaches so we can match Ranger Dave. You're also very much welcome to bring pins, jewelry, fabric, or props to help you make you feel like you're living your best ranger life, but please don't make any permanent modifications to your ranger shirt as they'll need to be used again for future events. You'll also want to check out, Outside Lands has a list of things that you can and cannot bring, so please take a look at that just to make sure you don't run into any trouble with any of the stuff you're thinking about. For the lower half of your costume, that's up to you. You can wear pants, shorts, skirts, whatever, as long as it's appropriate, and I trust you to make that judgment call. We just want to make sure that you are comfortable and having a good time. Although if you really want to be in full ranger costume and you happen to have khaki or light green shorts, that would be a good fit. All right, now we'll get on to your missions. We're going to be breaking all of our rangers up into 5 troops. We have about 25 people per shift per day, so each troop will have 5 people in it. The rangers on each troop will all be wearing the same color bandana, running the same mission, and obviously will have the same gear for that mission. It's kind of counterintuitive, but if you're in the same troop, you actually don't want to hang out near each other during the festival. The players are trying to collect 1 virtual badge from or complete the mission of 1 ranger per troop, and we want each troop to be spread out across the festival grounds so players are more likely to run into you. I'm going to be finalizing all of the role assignments later today and tomorrow, and I'll be sending out your scripts, which have a little bit more information about what your mission is, give you some examples for one-liners that you can use or language that you can use in describing your mission to teams, and just give you all the details on that. If you have any questions about your script once you read it through, you can feel free to email me, but remember we'll also have some time at the beginning of the game to go through and play test stuff with each other, so just if you could read through it, that'd be great, because the more prepared you are, the more comfortable you'll be facilitating your mission, but remember we'll have a little time to work all this stuff out together, so don't feel like everything needs to be perfect right now. Let's see. Once you're geared up and ready to join the game, you'll head out from our HQ station and start patrolling the festival grounds. This will look an awful lot like attending the festival, but in character. We'll want you moving around the festival grounds, greeting folks, talking to them, telling people about the game especially, and checking out the art installations and vendors, and just, being part of the landscape of Outside Lands. You can generally think of yourself as being an ambassador for the game, but because you look like Ranger Dave, a lot of people will probably think that you're going to be an ambassador for the festival as a whole. We'll be going through some of the frequently asked questions about the festival and reviewing the festival map together at the start of the shift. And I'll also make sure just that for the most commonly asked questions that you have a way to refer out if the answer isn't readily available to us. So, as you're going about your rangerly duties, teams playing the game will spot you and come up to you most likely. They'll probably say something along the lines of, "You're a Green Ranger," or "You're a Red Ranger," or "Hey, can we do your mission?" And they'll probably be excited, and they might even be drunk. Either way, it's your job to whip out the gear that you have for your mission and to facilitate it for the team. This is the most important part of the job, is just that as you're wandering around, if a team comes up to you, it's really important that you stop and engage with them and do the mission. That's why we're here, and also I think you're really going to enjoy it. These are all really, really fun things to do with people. Let's see here. You might find yourself doing a mustache sculpting competition with teams at one point. You might be teaching them to make balloon swords and helping direct an epic battle. Whatever your role is, again, you'll get your script in the next couple days, and you can just follow along with the instructions there. In addition to, oh yeah, actually, just one quick note before we move on from that. I did mention that, people might be drunk or in different states of being at the festival this weekend. Obviously, like, I trust you all to make good decisions about recognizing whether or not someone wants to engage with you. For the most part, it's going to be really straightforward because people will probably be coming up to you. But as you're going about being in character, doing your improv bit, if you get the sense from anyone's body language that they don't want to be, engaged with, please just go find someone else to play with. There are a lot of people at the festival, and we don't want to force anyone into interacting with us if they don't want to. On the flip side of that, if anyone does anything that makes you feel uncomfortable, or especially like your physical space is being threatened, please remove yourself from the situation immediately. And if it's a dangerous situation, please let someone from the Outside Lands security team know, or come talk to us at the HQ booth, and we can help find someone. We can help find someone who can help out with the overall situation, or help you handle it directly. Cool. In addition to facilitating your personal mission, there will also be 1 or 2 times during your shift where our entire crew will be creating what we're calling a flash mob moment. There will also be more instructions that we'll go through at the start of the shift, but just so you have the gist of it now, I'll be sending out a text to the entire crew 15 minutes before the flash mob moment, reminding you where to gather. And myself or another staff person from the game will meet you there with any props that we need. When the flash mob moment starts, our goal is to get as many audience members to join us without being too obnoxious about it. Again, we only want people to play if they're really into it. We're still locking down what those flash mob moments will be, but so far it's stuff like making a giant soul train, getting a huge group of people together blowing bubbles at the same time, getting a huge group of people to rock out on fake instruments like pool noodles and tennis rackets and stuff like that, and so on. There aren't a lot of us for each shift, so it's really important that you're on time and participating in the flash mob moments. And let's be real, those are probably going to be the most fun for us. A lot of the flash mob moments involve props that we'll be sharing with the festival goers that join in on the fun with us. And when we start wrapping things up, I'll need you to help round up our props so they don't wander off into the crowd and become MOOP, or matter out of place, if you haven't heard that acronym before. All right, now into some of the final practicalities of the game. As I mentioned, a huge part of your job is just to serve as an ambassador of the game and the festival, and a welcoming member of the Outside Lands community. We really just want to help people have a great time and stay safe at the festival. So it goes to follow that it's super, I repeat, super important that you follow all festival rules and regulations, especially, I repeat, especially when you are doing your shift, but also at all times when you're on the festival grounds. Kind of on a personal note, it's taken a lot of work for Morgan, who's our Outside Lands contact, and me to talk our bosses into doing this. On the surface, it may seem like two well-established companies making a fancy scavenger hunt, but it's mostly just me and Morgan and a bunch of our friends who thought that this sounded like an absolute blast and a way to get our friends to have basically the best group costume ever at the festival. You're going to be largely unsupervised during your shift, and I'm just asking you personally to not take advantage of that. If you get into any trouble at the festival, that trouble comes straight back to me and Morgan, so please help us out with that. If someone gets hurt, again, just one more note about safety, like if anyone gets hurt or threatens your safety, please find someone on the Outside Lands security team. Our booth will have a basic first aid kit, but we're not equipped to do anything more than hand someone a Band-Aid. I believe the security will be wearing bright yellow shirts that say security on them in giant letters, but we'll confirm that again at the start of your shift. Also, as part of your check-in process when you show up at the gates, you'll be asked to sign a waiver. The waiver includes the same basic policies that you would have agreed to when if you were to buy a ticket for the event, but since you're on the artist list, we need to take care of that by getting your signature. It basically says that if you get hurt, you won't sue the festival. And let's see. If a player is having trouble with the app, there's a way for you to restart the Go Game app that we'll talk through at the start of your shift. But again, if a player ever has a question that you don't know the answer to, just send them on over to HQ. There are two more important things about arrivals before I sign off here. One, this year Outside Lands is implementing what they're calling a clear bag policy. Any bag that is larger than about the size of a fanny pack needs to be made out of clear vinyl or plastic, or it won't be allowed in the festival grounds. If you forget and show up with your stuff in a regular backpack, they're going to make you empty your backpack out into a clear trash bag, and that's going to be what you're carrying around at the festival. So I really recommend planning in advance for that. If you have a clear trash bag that you can bring with you, that'd be awesome. But we'll also have some that are with the person who's checking folks in outside the gates. Also, parking is really, really limited in the area, but Outside Lands is going to be running shuttles this year from San Jose, from Oakland, and from a couple of the North Bay cities. I'll include a link to the info about the shuttle system in the arrival email, so you can check that stuff out. There's nothing else that I can think of right now. I'm sure I'm forgetting something, so if you have other questions, please let me know, and I can email out any of the other stuff. Aside from that, I just want to say I am so excited to be doing this with you all. Thank you so much for signing up to do this. I really think we're just going to have an absolute wonderful, wonderful time together. So again, in the next day or so, you'll see your script assignments from me. If you have any questions, let me know. Also, we still have a couple of slots available on the second shift on Sunday. So if you know anyone that is interested in coming to the festival 3:30 to 7:30 Sunday, oh, which reminds me, actually, there's the thing I forgot. If you are volunteering for the later shift, or if you're volunteering for either shift, you can show up for the festival starting at 11 a.m. and we're going to have, our point person outside checking folks in. Especially if you're in the second shift and you want to check out more of the festival during the day, please also show up early. Again, we'll have someone there from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. just hanging out and checking folks in. I think that's it. Let me know if I've missed anything, and really looking forward to seeing you all next weekend. Thank you so much. Bye!